story about battling mental health challenges might help someone else do the same.
In my family, therapy is not something everybody's used to or believes in.
Nate's Place is the only nonprofit in Ventura County helping young people overcome addiction and mental health struggles. Heidi Rhodes and her husband Larry started it in honor of their late son, Nate.
He was our only child, and we were really close to him, and we just thought it would be kind of a way to continue Nate's legacy and continue kind of doing what he was doing.
The Rhodes say at 14, Nate became addicted to drugs. After treatment, he got clean, but in 2022, he died in a car crash. Nate's Place is inspired by his recovery, from fitness to music, equine therapy, and art. But it's working one-on-one with mentors who have also faced addiction, where Nate's Place stands out.
If we say, hey, I feel like I have a craving right now, a lot of these kids don't get in trouble for saying something along those lines. But in this group, they're allowed to talk about it.
In Ventura County, more than 200 people die each year from opioid overdoses. Addiction experts say those struggles often start young and can carry into adulthood.
Kratom and kratom derivatives pose a risk, as well as intoxicating hemp products and a whole panoply of new synthetic drugs. So young people haven't really faced this kind of environment.
That's where Nate's Place steps in, giving teens and young adults a chance to get help before addiction claims another life.
And just giving me the ability to talk. It doesn't matter who, I can talk to anybody, and that's the part I love about it.
In Oxnard, Lauren Posen, CBS LA.
This is CBS LA at 9.
New at 9, an ICE agent pulls a gun on a driver in Fullerton.
We'll show you the confrontation that's causing an uproar tonight. The longest U.S. government shutdown could soon be over. 8 Senate Democrats voting with Republicans to end the stalemate, but confusion over flights and food stamps is far from over.
And help for millions of American women going through menopause. The head of the FDA explains why it's removing the so-called black box warnings for hormone-based drugs. Good evening. I'm Pat Harvey.
I'm Rudabeh Shabazi.
Well, tonight we are one step closer to ending the longest government shutdown in history.
The Senate passed legislation to end the 41-day closure, and now it goes to the House for a final vote this week. But when will the damage be repaired?
Good question. CBS LA political reporter Tom Wade is here now with all of the fallout.
Yeah, there's a lot of fallout and a lot of infighting within the Democratic ranks, so we'll get to that in just a second here. So the Senate approved reopening the government tonight with a vote of 60-40. 8 Democrats joined the Republicans to approve it. The House could vote as early as Wednesday, but it could take a week for all the chaos to end at our airports and for the millions of people on food stamps.
On this vote, the ayes are 60, the nays are 40. The bill as amended is passed.
The longest government shutdown in American history is one step closer to ending. It happened after a group of Democratic senators broke ranks and made a deal with Republicans.
I could spend an hour talking about all the problems we've seen, which have snowballed the longer the shutdown has gone on. The American people have suffered for long enough. Let's not pointlessly drag this bill out.
Up until a couple of days ago, Senate Democrats stood in solidarity, refusing to reopen the government unless Republicans agreed to fund Obamacare subsidies. Those help pay for covered California premiums. Those are set to skyrocket.
People are having real sticker shock as they see the renewals for covered California next year. Some people's rates are going up 100%, some are going up 200%, and they're literally having to make the choice about going without insurance coverage or being able to pay their rent.
Over the weekend, 8 Democratic senators broke ranks and made a deal with Republicans to vote yes on the bill that reopens the government and fund it through January 30th, reverse the layoffs of federal workers during the shutdown, and guarantee back pay for those furloughed. It also includes additional money for SNAP or food assistance benefits. But the deal does not include an extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies, only a promise of a vote in the Senate on the subsidies in December.
I may not have made the same decision that those senators made, those Democratic senators, but I don't blame them. I blame the Republican Party for trying to make Democrats choose between Americans going hungry because Trump was illegally withholding their SNAP payments, or protecting people's healthcare access.
The decision by the breakaway Democrats sparked intense backlash within the party. Governor Newsom posted, "Pathetic. This isn't a deal. It's a surrender. Don't bend the knee." The shutdown has crippled air travel. 1,600 flights canceled Monday alone, on top of delays across the country. Air traffic controllers, going unpaid, are calling out sick. The Trump administration demanded large airports like LAX make cuts to in- and outbound flights.
We were delayed, and then we were not able to make our connector here.
The shutdown has also been devastating for families who rely on SNAP funding, which pay for programs like CalFresh and food stamps. The Trump administration pushed the courts to allow his administration to withhold the funds until the government reopened. It's still going to be a few more days before the shutdown ends. The House won't vote on the bill approved by the Senate until Wednesday, and the Republican House Speaker said he has the votes to clear it, but also would not commit to any vote on extending health care subsidies.
I do not guarantee the outcome of legislation or dates or deadlines or
Both of California's senators voted no on the motion to reopen the government, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is taking hits for the defection of the Democrats. Two congressmen from California, Ro Khanna and Mike Levin, joined a growing chorus of people saying it's time for Schumer to step down. Rutabaga?
Tom, thank you. A mass tonight to pray for nearly 24 passengers hurt after a bus heading home from a church retreat flipped over in San Bernardino County. This happened last night on a dark and winding mountain road on State Highway 330 south of Running Springs.
Well, 36 young women who were members of Santa Ana's Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic Church in Santa Ana were on board when it crashed.
I just hear the guy say, we lost the brakes. And then I turned to my sister and I grabbed her, and then I just prayed to God that everything was going to be okay.
20 people were hospitalized, 3 are in serious condition, and we will have much more on this story on the special prayer mass tonight. That's ahead on CBS LA at 10.
A judge today deciding not to drop murder charges against the man accused of speeding along Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu and killing 4 Pepperdine University students in 2023.
Lawyers for Frazier Michael Bohm argued there was insufficient evidence to support the charges. CBS LA's Gio Insignares joins us now in studio with details, including what the attorneys on both sides are saying about this case, Gio.
Yeah, a lot to break down here, Pat. Rutabaga, good evening to you both. Bohm is currently charged with 4 counts of murder and vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence for the October 17th, 2023 crash that killed 4 sorority sisters. Now, his lawyers said today they were disappointed in the judge's decision, but plan to take the next steps to have that decision reviewed.
Frazier Bohm has never been and will never, ever be a murderer. He did not intentionally or with any kind of an implied malice take any lives. This was a tragedy.
Frazier Bohm is accused of driving more than 100 miles an hour along a stretch of PCH when he lost control and slammed into parked cars. Those vehicles then hit 4 Pepperdine seniors standing along the road: Asha Weir, Neve Rolston, Peyton Stewart, and Deslyn Williams. The defense argued today the case is not murder.
It was overfiled, it was overcharged, he was held to answer improperly, and we're going to make sure that the law in California is upheld on his behalf.
Former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani says the defense's move was expected, but the burden at this point is high.
The defense wouldn't be doing its job if they didn't try to get these murder charges dismissed. When it comes to this stage of the proceedings, the judge needs to view the evidence in the light most favorable to the prosecution.
At the time of the crash, prosecutors argued that the murder charges were filed because of speed and reckless disregard for the safety of others, a sentiment echoed today by the attorney for a witness to the crash.
The defendant didn't even look over at him. Okay, he didn't roll his window down, he didn't look at him, he just took off.
But Bohm's legal team claims he was being chased in a road rage incident, a claim disputed by others.
This whole theory, this fantasy that he was chasing after the defendant, it's ludicrous.
They're wrong and they know they're wrong. I can't put it any more clearly. Of course he was being chased. Of course he was being harassed on the road. All the evidence points to it, and we intend to show that to the jury too.
Ultimately, legal experts say what happens next will come down to how a jury interprets the evidence.
If the prosecution can really prove that Bohm was driving more than 100 miles per hour on PCH, That to me is beyond reckless. That shows malice, and that is murder.
Bohm remains free on bail. His legal team says they plan to appeal the judge's decision, meaning the murder charges stay in place for now as the case proceeds to trial. Pat Rudabay, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Jill, thanks so much for that. Now, immigration activists are denouncing an ICE agent tonight who pulled a gun on a woman who was trying to document his actions in Fullerton.
Fullerton police got swept into this incident as well, and we have a team of journalists dedicated to covering immigration stories, including our Lori Perez.
Immigration activists who've seen this video are raising concerns. They say it points to tensions escalating between ICE agents and anyone who they think is getting in their way.
Are you for real right now? And now these cops are helping them. Y'all are on live. Look at, I thought police are not supposed. I'm just driving.
The heated exchange happened Sunday in Santa Ana when an ICE agent in street clothes got out of his car with his gun to confront a woman in the car behind him as a Fullerton police officer pulled alongside them. Fullerton Police and Homeland Security have both since clarified the officer declined to help the ICE agent once he realized the man was in fact an ICE agent. Confusion not lost on immigrant advocates who have long criticized the feds for allowing agents to show up with no uniforms, no IDs, and in unmarked cars.
If the officer doesn't know, then obviously there's no communication happening. These are people that are acting above even their own local law. Yeah, it's horrific. This is not, it's just getting worse.
DHS says the woman screamed at the ICE agent and attempted to cause a collision, that he drew his weapon to defend himself because of her aggression. But others say that's the kind of excuse ICE has been giving as more and more they are trying to intimidate people recording them or watching their enforcement. A wave of community self-defense teams across Southern California has been documenting the raids since they began. Fearing retribution, this volunteer didn't want to share her identity.
Now I think that we're in a place of sudden realization of the escalation and how underprepared we are as just everyday community members to face the violence of people who intend to use it. You know, they have weapons and they've demonstrated to us that they will use them against us if we speak up.
This is video from last month. Watch as the silver Jeep Cherokee, driven by an ICE agent, accelerates and rams the gray pickup, driven by this man, Leo Martinez, a well-known immigration activist in Ventura County. They claimed he assaulted them with his truck first and detained him, only to release him hours later without charging him. He saw the Santa Ana video and says tensions have been rising for months.
I think that they feel very comfortable being much more aggressive. And the bare minimum we could do is put our bodies on the line in hopes that it deters, or that at the very least in that moment, deflects the attention from the undocumented folks and onto us.
DHS says the woman left the scene before other local police arrived to investigate their claims she was trying to cause a collision. She is, in their words, still at large. Lori Perez, CBS LA.
Developing news now, a town hall hosted in Pasadena tonight to discuss massive cuts needed in the Pasadena Unified School District. The PUSD needs to slash up to $35 million from its budget. The LA County Office of Education has warned that it would step in if it needs to. The event was meant for the community to clarify any questions they have and have their voices heard.
I'm here tonight to place the students at the center of this conversation. We can change the narrative and work together towards what we can confidently expect to do with, instead of focusing on what we must do without.
Working so closely with the district, I've recognized how much these budget cuts can have an impact on the community.
Superintendent Elizabeth Blanco said the district faces numerous challenges, and this includes declining enrollment and rising costs for employee benefits and utilities that government funding isn't adjusting for.
We're not losing everything. We're going to have an opportunity to reinvent some of the ways that we do things, but we're going to hold on to our programs that are dear to our community, and we're just going to do some of them in a different way.
Blanco sat down with our Carl Finstrom and shared that this is the first part of a 3-year plan to slash $83 million. Blanco said that the districts will share more details at his meeting on Thursday.